I'm back. So I got into a bit of something before. I got into a bit of functions. I didn't mean to do that. It was important because that was the other part of the mathematical operations that come with the without importing any packages. I'll talk about functions in a later video. Very soon. Notice how I scratched my nose. My voice sounded funny. That's weird. Today we're going to talk about variables. So where's my cursor? Oops. Where's my cursor? A plus B. It's going to return nothing right now, okay? But if I define A, and then I define B, and then I do A plus B, it'll come back as 11. Oh, only if I don't put a space there. Great. It'll come back as 11. That's because A equals 5 up here, B equals 6, and then 5 plus 6 equals 11. That makes sense. You can also store words as a thing. So whenever, this is a good thing I want to talk about. I'll get into strings a tiny bit. I'll talk more about strings later. Stuff is going to overlap in the early beginnings. A equals string. That means that A can equal a set of letters. Now, let's remember before A plus B, it's going to return an error now because I've reassigned the A variable to string. Before it was assigned to 5. Variables change if you reassign them later down the line in the text, okay? But I accidentally did this beforehand. You can do that. If you want to make more sense, you could do A equals string space A times 3. Now it has spaces, string, string, string. That's pretty much that. You can store a variable as a variable. So let's do B equals 3, A equals B, B, A. So if you see that, you can do that any number of times. So I can do C equals A, D equals C, and then I keep messing up with the spaces. D equals C, and then I can just return, and I finally get 3. And that means also, at the very beginning, if I say B, I put a space again, I caught myself, B equals 6, and then I say D equals, and I just say D, it's not going to catch up in time, alright? It's going to basically break it, because if you remember, A still equals, or D still equals C, C still equals A, and A equaled whatever B was whenever it was assigned. So that's something to keep track of. Let's think. So what's more I can do with variables? Variables can be words. So for example, words equals, let's see how many, let's do this, 5, because there's 5 letters in words. So there is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always get nervous whenever I make statements and I'm scared they're wrong. So I could do words. I could do 5 plus words. Now this is different. Don't get this confused with this, because in this one, words is a variable. In this one, words is a string. We'll talk more about strings later. Don't get confused. Don't get it twisted. We'll see how pretty your face is after my fist has kissed it. Okay, so that's that. You can also have letters in your words as long as the first, what am I saying? You can have numbers in your letter, or in your numbers in your variables as long as the first character in it is a letter, I believe. So if I do GF equals that, and then I can do so GF equals Maria, but if I can't do GF equals 5, this should not work. Yeah, there we go. Invalid syntax. It's talking about you can't have a number in the first one. You can't do this. You cannot set a number to you can't have a number as a variable because the first digit in it is a number. But you can, however, do this. No, you can't. You can't have spaces. That was an accident. Oh, my bad. See, make sure you don't forget strings and stuff. So now if I say GF1, Maria returns, and if I say GF, the other Maria returns. So that's pretty much that. Trying to think of anything else variables can do. Variables can be expressed. You can do a function, for example. So if I say math, no, that's not a function. What am I saying? Yeah, actually, we'll just act like that was a no. We're not going to do that. Absolute value. I can say abs equals. No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to say what's. Remember, you can't have a variable that's already a function name. So color equals abs. Oop, my bad. Color. Because abs requires an argument, absolute value requires an argument. -7. There we go. Now if I type in color, 7 should return. Because absolute value of -7 equals 7, it takes the distance of the integer away from 0 and adds it to 0, if that makes any sense. Maybe I can demonstrate that later on if I create a function. But yeah, pretty much. So that's going to be all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, watch the other ones. I also have a Pokemon Uranium playthrough. I have a C# tutorial for my modded series that I also have in Terraria. Thank you. Bye-bye.